guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and appreciate you guys coming by the channel to check out today's episode, and got really one of those educational videos for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the two best type of knots to tie with fluorocarbon fishing line, which most people use fluorocarbon. That's the most popular line genre out there. And there's two primary knots that I tie with fluorocarbon based upon the lure that I'm fishing. I tie one particular type of knot if I'm fishing any type of a reaction bait, like a crankbait or a spinner bait, anything that moves through the water column. And then I tie a different type of knot if I'm fishing a slow bait, like a jig. So I'm going to show you both of those today and explain to you guys why I use one over the other sometimes. Also, guys, before we get started, a couple quick housekeeping tips here. Just like to invite everybody to please check out the Black Friday sale going on at Silverbat. 50% off on my signature series RB2s and RB3s. I'll put the Silverbat link in the description. Super high quality optic clarity on these lenses. You guys will just love the way they fit. I'd suggest two different colors. One, mossback green for bright sunny days, and a high contrast yellow for cloudy days. So those are really good. And also, guys, thank you everybody out there that's taking time to hit that subscribe button and the like button and the share button with the videos here. That goes a long way to push the channel out on the algorithm. So really appreciate that. Okay, guys. The reason you want to tie two different type of knots with fluorocarbon is it has to do with the impact that the knot can withstand on different type of hook sets. Now, if you're fishing a bait like a crankbait, where you're reeling it through the water column and one hits it and you just pull back on it, you don't really need the impact resistant like you do if you're fishing like a jig, where you actually have to set the hook harder to penetrate a single hook. Now, here's the thing about knots in general. Fluorocarbon is sort of like, it has some unique properties in terms of it's a little bit stiffer than monofilament, it's smaller diameter, a little bit more brittle. So therefore, it requires a couple different knots on it. And before I show you the knot, I want to say one thing about knots in general. You can have one of those knot testing machines, and say, for example, your favorite knot tests at 99%, and you're all happy about that, and you're gushing that you're tying the best knot. And then some other guy's got a knot that tests at 95 or 96%. And people say, well, that's not a very good knot. That's not true. You'll never even notice the difference between 95% and 99%. The difference that you're going to notice is the ability for you to tie that knot quickly, because the faster that you can tie a knot, the more it encourages you to retie. That is the problem people have with breaking fish off or losing fish, is the fact they don't retie enough, because their line it'll get some type of an abrasion on it, it'll get a fray, it'll get line friction from heat and weaken that line. And even if you don't hit a rock or anything that roughs your line up, if you just cast a lure repeatedly for all day long, your knot is there's going to be friction on that knot. There's going to be pressure put on the knot that weakens the knot strength. So that's the problem that you have pretty much with knots, is they're not retied enough. So you have got to get fast with a knot. And I'm going to show you one fast knot, and I'm going to show you one a little bit slower knot that's a little bit stronger. Okay, the first one I'm going to show you, this is the one that I use with all of my reaction baits. Anything that I'm reeling through the water column that requires just cranking the reel handle, like a topwater lure, a jerk bait, a spinner bait, chatter bait, crankbait, anything like that. And that's going to be just the basic old school Palomar knot here. Palomar knot is a really, really good knot in terms for those things, because it's a fast knot that you can tie. So if you've never tied one before, let me give you guys a quick little demo here. Got a little line cut off here on how to tie one. Palomar knot, when you get good at it, you can tie a Palomar knot in less than 10 seconds. So what you're gonna do is just come through the line one time, or come through your eye one time. And where your bait is like that, it's just sliding through, nice and simple. The next thing you want to do, nice and simple, just tie a knot, an overhand knot, like you're tying your shoelace for the first time. Just an overhand knot, coming like that. And then, let me get the spool out of here. And the next thing you want to do is you got a loop right here. Just run your bait through the loop that's created from the overhand knot. and then pull the loose end tight. And that is a simple, easy Palomar knot like that. And like I said, if you get good with it, you know, you're gonna be able to tie it like in 10 seconds or so. And another thing, guys, that I'll tell you, get a little tip about knots, is that once you learn how to use your teeth in correlation with your mouth and your teeth and your hands, that is what makes knot tying super, super quick on there. So Palomar knot is the one that I use, that type of a situation for any type of a moving bait. Okay, the next one is a little bit more complicated, and it's also the one that I use for my slow baits, because the reason I use this knot on a slow bait is the way that the line wraps around the hook eye there. A lot of times on a slow bait like that, when you're setting the hook hard, there's a lot more pressure put on the knot itself. So therefore, I'm gonna show you guys how to double this knot up. It's called the double uni knot, and it's the one that I use. I've been using this knot for 25 years on any slow bait I use like this. Before I tie this knot, there is a lot of knot snobs out there. Every time I show how to do this, people say, Randy, you don't know what you're talking about. That's the pigeon knot or whatever, or San Diego jam, or they got 100 different knots. The knot that I'm gonna show you, Aaron Martin showed me 25 years ago. Aaron Martin said it was a double uni knot. I call it the double uni knot. Don't be a knot snob. Don't try to correct me on this. This is what I call it. You can call it whatever you want. Okay, so double uni knot, a little bit different. Come through the same way that you did with the Palomar. You're gonna come through twice. It'll be like that. The other thing about knots, guys, I'll give you a little tip on it. Make sure when you're tying a knot that you give yourself plenty of room to work with. Don't be skimpy with how much line you're working with. Just give yourself plenty. Okay, the next thing you do is you got it swinging forward like this. You got line pinched in one finger here. Take both of them and put it in one finger like that. So you got both of your lines in one finger. And the next thing you do, you're gonna wrap it like 3 or 4 times. 1, 2, 3. 3 is probably fine. 4 if you have lighter line. And after you've wrapped it 3 or 4 times, notice the little loop that you have at the top there. Take this in and put it through that loop, just like that. And then grab it with your mouth. I'm full up tight. Okay, it's pulled tight, and then I'm gonna pull all the ends to secure it. I got the main end, and I've got this end. So I'm gonna have there's gonna be 3 tag ends here. And we're gonna cut it. You got 3 tag ends. No, I shouldn't be cutting with a knife there. I should have my scissors. I don't have my scissors. And that's the double uni knot right there. It's a bigger knot. The knot is actually probably, twice as big in diameter as the Palomar knot. That's another advantage of the Palomar knot, is it's a smaller diameter knot. But that double uni knot, it's gonna withstand the friction of a hook set, because there's something about the way that the way fluorocarbon lays over the other piece of fluorocarbon. Sometimes if it doesn't lay parallel and you've got the line wrapped around the other one, when you set the hook, it'll shock that line, fray the line, break your line with it. So guys, that's really the only 2 knots that you need to tie with fluorocarbon, is learn how to tie your Palomar knot super fast, and that's gonna be your primary knot, and then tie the double uni knot for your slow baits. Now, if you don't wanna get real technical about it and it's not that big of a deal, you can pretty much get by with the Palomar knot all the time. Palomar knot is a good knot. It's probably, a lot of people don't give a Palomar knot the credit that it deserves. They think it's just an easy, like a real kindergarten level knot, but a Palomar knot is a good knot. And I wouldn't have any problem fishing with it all the time. But in a tournament situation, if I'm fishing a shaky head or a Ned rig, a jig, a Texas rig worm, something that I'm putting a lot of force on, I do tie that double uni knot. And everything else, I tie the Palomar. If I'm just going fishing for fun and I don't care, I tie the Palomar knot all the time. So anyway, guys, that's what works for me. I've been doing it a long time. I think it'll help you guys out. I'll talk later. See you guys.